Rob Leidick, president of Wavelengths, and I'm joined here by Darren with Right Crowd. And we're going to talk a little bit about demystifying wallet credential costs, understanding the cost and the ROI. Darren, I know that we've had customers that had really some concerns of, oh my gosh, this wallet credential is going to be so much money. It's going to be disruptive. How do we do it? But then we watch them go do it because it isn't as costly. It isn't as disruptive. It's actually enhancing their user experience. What is your experience there?
It's a bit of a urban myth that this is a $2 or $3 card that people have. I mean, it's not. It's not a $2 to $3 badge. There's a lot of logistics behind this badge. There's a lot of replacement costs, renewals and things like that. There was a thing on LinkedIn the other day with a guy who'd had a badge for 35, 40 years and he still had his original photo on there. That's not secure. I mean, that's more of a process now where it's on and on that you get these things renewed every 3 to 5 years. And we have to help customers organize that. So the reality of shipping these things, producing these things, losing them, the dog ate it, all the other things are adding to the overall cost of a physical badge. Obviously, this is also a plastic badge. It has sustainability aspects related to it as well. We do get that conversation coming up from time to time. That's a continually obviously growing conversation. So all of the costs, when you really sit down, it's not just the pure tangible costs. Then you need to talk as well about the intangible costs, which are we deal with a lot of risk and compliance in the space that we deliver into in the PM space. And the fact is that the risk that this raises versus the security of the mobile credential, it's, someone loses one of these, drops them on the floor, someone gains access, there's a cyber event, there's a whatever. And these are very expensive events that occur for these organizations, other than then taking the risk and reputation on their share price and everything else that comes to that. So there's a lot of factors that really go into it. If you drill into it, what is the cost of that physical badge? That's certainly the experience, Rob, that we hear.
Yeah, thanks. So when I look at demystifying that wallet credential cost, I've spoken to now thousands of end users and thousands of consultants where they want to understand, what does it cost? And Darren, you mentioned a $2 to $3 card. That's a Prox card, so I'm going to throw that straight out the window because your example of somebody having that for 30 plus years, that's real. And that thing was hacked 25 years ago. Today, we can walk up and I can copy that thing in under 5 seconds, standing meter away from somebody and get their card number. That's just real. So when we look at a real secure physical card, the MyFair DesFire EV3 card, which is exceptionally secure, that cost is somewhere in the $7 to $12 range on a per card basis. And when I'm having conversations with end users, they're like, well, help me understand how this NFC wallet credential compares to a physical card. And I start walking down a journey of, it is the same use case, right? A mobile credential on the NFC wallet and a physical card, they do the same thing in that they open a door or they start a print job or they let you get into an elevator. But that's where the similarities end. Would we say that a rotary dial phone in a phone booth was the same as a mobile phone experience? No. In that example, both of the one is anonymous. You didn't know who was actually on that line in that phone booth. And yet we know exactly who was using this phone, who opened it, when they opened it, and how. When I'm looking at digital assets, how did somebody get into a computer? How did somebody get into a network? In those digital assets, we really block those. We lock those down and we block unauthorized access instantaneously. There's lots of bad actors in the world, both states as well as individuals, and we block those. But in physical access, it still is much more on the anonymized world. I've got a physical card like you have there, Darren. It actually is not you. It's an identifier. It might have your picture on it. Congratulations, you get a name tag. But There's nothing about you presenting that says that you did it. Quite frankly, I can do it, and the computer system is going to recognize that Darren's card was presented.
Correct.
But mobile with NFC wallet, because the user is authenticating to that digital asset, authenticating to Okta or Microsoft or Google or IBM Security Verify, it's validation of identity.
Hmm.
And that's really where that major advancement happens.
Hmm.
And customers say, yeah, I now get it. But let's get down to the bottom dollar of it as well. Is a wallet credential going to be the exact same cost as a physical card? The answer is no. But is it going to be really close economically and continue to provide lots of other benefits, meaning user experience, true validation of identity, a true secure experience? The answer is yes. And when in comparison to other true IT validation softwares and systems, it is exceptionally low cost for that. When you look at what a per user license is for Microsoft, IBM Security Verify, Okta, all of those items, and you get to deal with a lot of those as a true identity and access management provider. When we're talking, 15 to $20 potentially on the high end of a wallet credential, I mean, come on. It's not even the same planet
Yeah.
of what we're spending elsewhere, and it provides all those additional benefits for products that people are spending 45 to $75 a month per user.
Yeah, look, we have organisations, Rob, and it's a great comparison. The fact that the costs aren't that much different overall, but when you look at the risks and compliance aspects, we have customers who are subject to $1 million plus fines per day when they're out of compliance. But even further back than that, if we look at our industrial clients where safety is absolutely paramount, you want to know that the person who badges in next to you is actually the person who they say they are, because it's related to the training they have as to whether they're going to fire up that welder in an industrial area with noxious gas and maybe blow the whole thing up because they don't know what they're doing. Well, that's going to affect you as well. So that safety aspect to compliance comes into it as well. And that's something we hark back to from our very beginnings. And it's so important that you can verify that is the actual person.
Agreed. Yeah, the total ROI of a mobile credential, when customers really dive into it, is exceptionally, it's a beyond amazing value for them. And customers that have chosen to adopt it, whether it be the commercial real estate interest, which started it,
Yeah.
into financial corporations, into those that are governed, as you just mentioned, industrial examples, they quickly get on board and say, yeah, this is only a couple dollars, couple pounds, whatever currency they're in,
Mm.
a couple more a year comparatively to that. But wow, does that bring me into compliance? Wow, does that provide a ultra secure experience and put into alignment my IT and my physical security initiatives? So really powerful.
Yeah, agreed. And honestly, it gets those badging officers that would have had to produce all those badges in the past, gets them out doing what they were supposed to do in the first place, which is guarding and liaison and all the other things around the campus that they were originally envisioned to do. So we see a great return from that as well.
Beautiful.